Hello friends and gamers, and welcome to the Fortress. My name is Jinx, and today I want to talk about the Spring Offensive Tournament for Global War 1936. That's happening in a week's time, and there are 6 participants. There's Panzer King, General Hand Grenade, Hilltop Pillbox, Rank Carcass, and myself, and Madman Dan. All 5 of those individuals are going to be YouTube content creators. The only exception is Madman Dan. We'll have to see if we can persuade him down the dark path of making YouTube videos. So I'm not sure what kind of video coverage is actually going to occur in the game. I was thinking about it, and if all 5 individuals did an end of round summary, that would take a little bit of time. Say that they took between all of them, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, or 10 minutes here. That's, at least half hours, let's say 5. That's about a half hour's worth of videos before the next turn starts. And that's that eats up a bit of time. So it probably might not work out that everybody gets to do a video. It might just be one lucky individual or 2 lucky individuals that will do every round video coverage, which is absolutely fine. Everybody else is probably going to play around with different things, and I'm not sure what everybody else is doing. This is just me pure guesswork into what's going to happen. So for me, I'm thinking about different little options of what I could do. One thing though is that I have a really old phone. Me and my wife bought ourselves some old phones back in, well, before we had kids. And once we had kids, we decided that it's time for one of us to upgrade our phone, so we have a nice camera for video and photos and such. So my wife upgraded, and so I have to work through my old phone with a poor quality video and photos. And after my phone dies, then I get my wife's old phone until that one dies, and then I finally get a brand new phone. So about a decade from getting a decade or more from getting a better phone. In the meantime, I can't steal my wife's phone because I'm leaving her behind when I attend the Spring Offensive, so it's just going to be me and kind of poor quality videos. So I'm not sure in what capacity I'm going to do any filming, if at all. So I have a few different options of what I'm going to do. I'm going to either do photos and then kind of make a YouTube slideshow with perhaps either voiceover or captions where I discuss kind of what occurred that turn. Another option is to do short little videos just in the midst of everybody doing it their turn and just shoot a little bit here, there, talk about things. But again, that's not ideal because it might be a little bit disruptive with the background noise and that kind of thing. So that may or may not occur. A third option is something along the lines of, well, do a zoomed out perspective of things instead of the board individually and worrying about if I'm covering things adequately where it has like a meaningful kind of timeline of events, in my video. Then instead I do a kind of zoomed out broad strokes perspective about the tournament itself as opposed to the board itself, and say, look, this is, my drive up there would be kind of fun to do, filming a drive up. And then once I'm there and attending, then I would, film the table a little bit. I'd film the venue, the food that we eat, the place we stayed at, the drinks we drank, some of the, take some photographs here or there of commemorating certain events and certain kind of features in the board game and that kind of thing. I think that'd be fun, a little bit more zoomed out perspective video of the whole experience of going to the tournament as opposed to the actual board game itself. I think that'd be quite enjoyable. Another idea, so the fourth idea, is starting a YouTube channel, a Facebook group, which would be for the Spring Offensive for future years as well as this year, where I could kind of keep a live event of everything that occurs. So photograph here with this battle was fought here, the nationalists are doing quite well, or the Japanese just took, Primorsky Krai or something like that, right? Something along those lines. But I'm not sure if that will work out or if there's enough interest for that as well. If people are interested, let me know in the comments so that I could kind of put something like this together. I think that would be enjoyable. And I'd also at that point link other people's videos into the YouTube group as well as they come in from different content creators. So that'd be enjoyable as well. So those are the 4 different options I have of what I may or may not do. We'll have to see if I even have time or if the quality of the pictures are decent enough. Now beyond that, I'm thinking I might do some videos about strategy. Now of course I can't make a video about strategy and release it prior to the game, and I'm even hesitant to talk about strategy that relates to other players as well, like to the Allies or the French, because that might give them ideas of what they could do on their in the tournament for them. So I might wait and hold off on strategy videos till afterwards. But another idea I had was film them now and then release them during the course of the game. And so that gave me an idea of what if I filmed some things that would relate to the game itself, some Japanese strategy, because I'm playing Japan, so I might release a Japanese strategy video of the strategy I'm doing in that game, and then you guys can kind of see it after it's unfolded and me with my video beforehand. I think it'd actually be fun to actually schedule it to be released and kind of like premiered to be released after that strategy occurs, and I'd release it and people could view it and say, he followed his strategy kind of to the letter, or he had to make some changes in that kind of thing. Another idea was to do a predictive strategy, a predictive idea of what the other players are going to do. I think that'd be fun as well. It's easier to predict the Axis because they're the more aggressors, but the Allies, they're more defensive, so most of their stuff is reactive to the to the Axis. So I could say, America might go 80% in the Pacific and 20% in the Atlantic, or the Russians might go here and there, but there's not too much more I can say beyond that, because during the course of the game they have to make judgment calls and their strategy would evolve. So most likely any strategy I predict would turn out wrong. But nonetheless, it's still for fun, right? It's not something that people are going to hold me to and say, Jinx said that they would do this and they did something completely different. It's like, well, that's with the caveat that things kind of unrolled as expected in other things. But nonetheless, I still might do them just for fun. I think it'd be quite enjoyable. And that's about it of what I have planned in regards to the strategy, in regards to Spring Offensive and what content I can provide. So in the comments below, just let me know what you think about this and what you think I could probably do. Whether it's the Facebook page, whether it's the photos, like slideshow video, whether it's a little bit more kind of a hush-hush kind of, this is what happened in here, these are my thoughts kind of during the course of the game. That one wouldn't be very coherent. And then I have other stuff where I could do a broad strokes kind of view of the event itself, or I could start that Facebook page and see how that goes. And also these strategy videos that could release at the time of the tournament. That's it, people. Thank you all for watching. Cheers.